Hello, this is SJJ, International and Adventure Correspondent for Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. Today our adventure is going to be kayaking on the Schuylkill River from Auburn to Port Clinton. I have on my tilly, which floats in case it falls off, and I have on this orange shirt, which is my SPF 30. I don't care to have a lot of suntan stuff on me. So here is our picture of where we're going to be going. It says, "You are here," and we will get out down here at Port Clinton. It's approximately 6 miles on the river. It will take 3 to 4 hours as you just take your time and paddle and go with the current. So I'll see you at the end.
So as Jack puts the kayak in the Schuylkill River, he's well north of Philadelphia in Schuylkill County. So the Schuylkill River eventually ends up terminating in Philadelphia and is navigable by large boats. But up here in Schuylkill County, it's relatively shallow. So the only boats that navigate to Schuylkill up here are kayaks and maybe paddle boards. And the rapids, as you see, are not very challenging. There's only a few spots that are rough. So on a typical day, it's really easy for the entire family to get on the water. I always recommend wearing a Type 5 life jacket when you're in any kind of running water. But we see this is a really pleasant river, and this is about a 6-mile track from Auburn, PA in Schuylkill County to Port Clinton, Pennsylvania, just north of Hamburg in Berks County. And on the video you see the water is moving swiftly, but there are long stretches in this trip where the water is kind of standing still and you have to paddle your way through it. So you do get some exercise in using your paddle and developing those skills in addition to navigating the running water. Now the way you can set this up to make it easier on yourself is to have 2 vehicles. So what people often do is they run up to Auburn, drop off all the kayaks, and then they run a separate vehicle down to Port Clinton and park a vehicle there. So once you're done going down the river, you can load all the kayaks in the truck and go up and get the original truck, or run someone back to the northern point, pick up the vehicle, and then bring them both back to load up all your gear when you're leaving. Now on this trip there are several bridges that you'll go under, and typically when we go under a bridge there's some rapids, and you'll see coming up a little bit later we take a little bit of water over the bow as Jack is heading down the river. You can see there is shade from the trees along the river, but the sun does peek through. So if you're doing this journey in the summer, so it is important to have sunscreen on or an SPF fishing shirt to protect you from the sun. So you can see that wave coming over the bow did knock the camera, so the camera had to be reset. And here you see, as we get more towards Berks County, the rapids increase and a little bit of water splashes up on the Pelican. A lot of times when you see us out in the kayaks, we're on a lake fishing, and the water's rather calm, so you're using your paddling skills. But occasionally, we'll put the kayaks in the rivers, and you'll see more of that as we move forward throughout the 2020 season. A lot of people, when they're kayaking this section of the Schuylkill River, because it is about a 3-hour journey, they'll often pack lunches and pull up, on the bank somewhere and have lunch. Just have a nice lunch halfway down the river. Now, in this area of Pennsylvania, we are fortunate in that we have a number of different rivers that we could put the kayaks on. This, as we had mentioned earlier, is the Schuylkill River, but the Lehigh River also offers excellent kayaking. There are companies that run canoe trips down through the river, and that is certainly an option for individuals that don't own their own gear. And then to the west of us is the Susquehanna River that runs through Harrisburg and empties into the Chesapeake Bay. And that water is good water to use kayaks and canoes on. Also, there are some deeper spots on that river, where power boats can be utilized. Now, in the summertime, the water temperature of this river can be between 70 and 80 degrees, so it's not that real chilly water that you might get on some of the more northern rivers. But you do have to be aware of it, because if you would swamp and get wet, the chill of the air could cause some problems for you. Now, the Pelican kayak that Jack is using is a hard shell kayak that your legs go up under the bow. The kayaks that I own are sit on top kayaks, where you're on top of the unit. And both will work fine on these river cruises. So don't think you have to have a particular type of kayak to go river kayaking versus lake kayaking, unless of course you're on a river that has, you know, type 5 rapids. Might not do so well on there. And again, you'll notice that as we head further down the river into Berks County, the gradient increases and the level of rushing water increases a bit. And as our journey comes to an end, as we reach the Port Clinton landing, it's important that you look for that sign on the left so that you don't overshoot your landing. I'd like to thank our international travel correspondent and adventure coordinator, Skinny Jack Jumbo, for taking us on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, it helps me out a lot. Also, ring that bell and you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps too. But more important than all that, go have some fun out there. Thanks for watching.